of the things that you'll notice, especially with a lot of Muslims who come from immigrant backgrounds, our elders, is that there was almost like a born-again type phase that a lot of them went through later on in their life after their education. And oftentimes it was catalyzed by arriving in a land where they became the extreme minority in terms of their faith. And so, for example, you might see people who all of us look at pictures maybe of our parents or grandparents. And for those, my dad is a white convert to Islam, but my mother's Egyptian. So when I see pictures of like my mother and her mother and all that family, and I'm like shocked, they look French, right? Because there was this heavy French influence on the culture of Egypt to the point where even my grandmother's name, even though it was Safiya, right, it was Sophia. There was this heavy influence. And then later on in life, when people started to realize that there's a life after death and I have to take life seriously, that's when there was like this religious catalyst that occurred. And so you might see pictures of your parents that are like foreign to you completely because they look so different now than they did before. My father-in-law once had like this massive afro as a Bengali man, right? And bell bottoms and everything in Bangladesh because of just this obsession with that culture. And now he's, mashallah, Sheikh Yasser's masjid, praying Isha, beard, into it. And one of the mistakes that we are inheriting is that we have put secular education as the penultimate goal of our existence. In that we think that a career, a success, a material contract, wealth, is what's going to bring us satisfaction. It's going to bring us happiness. And then we have kids. And we show up at the masjid, at the Sunday school, and our kids are quickly learning more about religion than we ever knew. And I see this too often for it to be an anomaly. And so one of the mistakes that I think we need to really think about and avoid is shelving religion, or shelving faith back while we prioritize secular education. I'm not saying that we don't study the secular sciences, but what I'm saying is that religion is not an exit ramp, right? Religion is not a fire escape, even though it is actually, if you think about it. That was deep, write that down. Religion is, a relationship with Allah is something that is a daily, this is why the pious people of the past had things like awrad. They had things like adhkar, that the Prophet ﷺ taught us, adhkar al-sabah, adhkar al-masa, the daily remembrances. It was literally something that carried you through the day, like more important than the oxygen that we breathe. Not something that just became convenient or a way to rein our children in from dating or going to prom, right? And so this is something that we need to have a heavy shift towards at the same level, at least at the same station as secular education needs to be a refining education of faith. My mother, may Allah bless all of our mothers, my mom is an Egyptian woman. If anyone knows Egyptian women, then you know what I'm talking about. So my mom, she used to so heavily emphasize the salah. And I used to think, man, this is so extreme. I would read stories about Imam Malik's mother and I was like, I have a mother like Imam Malik's mother, but I'm not like him. I don't know what's happening, right? And subhanAllah, I used to feel that way. And she used to do things like if I missed Fajr prayer in the masjid, not Fajr prayer in the masjid, not Fajr prayer, I'd pray Fajr in my room. She would call my work while I was sleeping and say, my son is sick, he can't come to work today. Then I would get up and try to go to work and she goes, where are you going? I said, I'm going to work. She goes, no. You missed Fajr, you don't deserve to make money today. Egyptian mothers, right? All the Egyptians are crying right now because I triggered. And I was like, this is ghulu, like this is extremeness in deen, like what's happening, right? And then, other stories. She would say, did you pray? I said, yeah. She goes, I didn't see you. I said, you're not Allah. She goes, no, if you don't pray in front of me, it doesn't count. As a kid, right? Again, and I would actually, one day I asked her, I said, Mom, all my friends, their parents are yelling at them for like the MCAT. And you're upset with me for being late. I missed the first takbir of Fajr in the masjid and you don't talk to me for 6 hours. And she goes, you can always take a class again. You can always get your degree a year late. You can always get a job. You can always figure out. Money, it's easy to make a buck. She's like, but you missed that Fajr, it's gone forever. And till this day, I am I don't think I still have even understood fully the benefit of what she did to me. I'm just now starting to realize it. I think that we need to, I need to keep talking before I get emotional. I think that we need to seriously reconcile what it means to live with faith in a secular society that forces us to put it on the back burner. We can't do that. We cannot put it as second priority. We ask Allah to give us tawfiq.